Of course, I use Dell, which apparently... I did not learn this till recently, but, like, I've been seeing IT people make jokes about, like... Dell is how I know I'll have repeat business, and I'm like, now you fucking tell me.
I don't know, I've had problems with other computers besides Dell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I brought up the story earlier about, you know, the science teacher who was a technophobe for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Just really didn't like people, wanted everything handwritten, so yeah, you were almost guaranteed to drop a letter grade if you handed in a typed or printed report. But, you know, 4 years before that, I'm sitting there in elementary school, and we had one teacher who had a row of TRS-80 computers in the back of the room.
Ah, the trashy 80!
Yep, the trash 80s. And the only reason they were really there is because when the students finished their homework and had nothing else to do, they could go over there and play games.
Let's see, that would have been like the age of, like, well, adventure, obviously, but, God, what was that friggin' turtle game that was essentially designed to teach, like, babies' first programming?
No, we didn't have that. We did not have that. Because remember, TRS-80s did not have hard drives. So you couldn't just put anything on them. You had to use floppy disk. You had to put a floppy disk to boot up the computer, basically.
That may have been what we had in my elementary school for at least part of the time. We had something that operated similarly. I don't know if it was the Trash 80.
And then when I switched schools, because I went to tiny school that was, you know, in a town of 2,000 people, to slightly larger school that was in a town of 20,000, basically. Which is quite a bit of difference, really, in size. I went from a graduating class of 27 people to a graduating class of 127. And no, those are not made-up numbers. Those are actually my graduating class sizes.
I may know somewhat. Well, no, they're a couple of years older than you. Never mind. I was about to say I might know somebody from your graduating class, but because they were talking about their neck of the woods here that they grew up in, and like their graduating class was somewhere around 20.
Yeah, when I went to the new school, something blew my mind in that they actually had a computer lab. You want to know what they use this computer lab for?
I'm
It was
curious.
one thing and one thing only.
Oregon Trail?
Nope. That was a computer in the library. But no, they used this computer lab that had about 17 networked IBMs, much like the ones you were mentioning. They didn't have Windows or anything on them. They just had IBM's proprietary OS on them. And the only thing we use them for? Storing and writing our English papers.
So when I was in the 6th grade, Spotsylvania County was known because it's convenient to DC, especially after they added the commuter rail. But basically, everyone who worked in DC who didn't want to live in DC, which was everybody, started moving to Spotsylvania County for a good long time. So for a while, there was basically a new school being built every year, and we still had crowding issues. So when I started middle school, I was starting middle school in a brand spanking new middle school. And the problem was construction wasn't quite finished by the time the school year started. So, we wound up starting like a week later than everybody. And when we started, there was no gymnasium ready, which is fine, we can work around that. And the computer lab wasn't ready. And at that time, the way the 6th grade electives were set up was basically there's 6 of them, and you rotate through one every 6 weeks. There was like shop, there was home ec, there was music, there was art, and there was the computer one. I started in the computer one. We didn't have computers for the first couple weeks of the computer one. So it was like, well, we're just gonna sit here and do nothing. This is what you would do if you had a computer. Stare at a wall for a while, kids.
That's
Good start.
Speaking of crowding in Spotsylvania County schools, I don't know how they are now. I know that the 2008 economic downturn definitely slowed things down a bit, but that was after I was moving from Oklahoma anyway. But I know in the past couple years, someone not even from Spotsylvania County posted a picture talking about like crowding in schools in general and how it's such a big problem. And so they posted this picture of a staircase at a school, and like it is clearly entirely too crowded. Like you can't move, you can't breathe. There are too many people to think. And I look at it. I click on the share button on Facebook, and I go like, I tag a couple of my friends, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm checking something to see if I'm not crazy. Does this? I get a couple of responses back. Oh my god, that is the main staircase at Riverbend High School. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. I know this staircase. Yes, the school's crowded, but also there are only like 3 fucking staircases in that high school. So of course there's a lot of people going down that staircase. It's clearly the end of the day, and there are only 2 ways out of the school, and this is one of them. You've got 3/4 of the school going through the one staircase.
Bloody hell.
So yes, it's a problem that the school's crowded. It's also a problem of there's no way out.
we're trapped.
That seems like a worse problem.
Yeah. Like, unless my parents were picking me up, I used the other staircase because that's where the bus lot was. And even after I started walking home, I used that staircase because the bus lot was like 100 feet closer to my house than the front door was, and every 100 feet counts. Especially if you're walking like the 5 miles.
Now, this is nowhere as bad as that, but I was going to middle school, tertiary school, basically your high school, when middle schools were being phased out. And we've had some of the old buildings taken down because they're old, they're not up to the task, and they're being redone. Fancy new buildings have been done up. I think the gym's been redone up. We had our old pool, which basically was collecting algae at the time. And it came down to, yeah, we got at least 2 more years into that school, to the point that the corridors and stairs basically becoming one way. It was annoying. Plus, you basically got 2 years younger coming in. Well, they're little shits. I don't like young people for a simple reason. I was in my teenage years dealing with young people. Little shits back then, little shits now. And yeah, you put the extra buildings in, but it was still not big enough for the extra 2 years. And the insult to that, all that work, all those materials, all that time, except for the main building, which was historically protected, it got ripped down because of an academy that was set up. Now, for those who don't know, the academies were the foundation-funded private schools.
Ah.
And the foundation, religious. So it's apparently things were a lot stricter, because I'm hearing that people who didn't have problems before were having problems. The building that replaced my old school, ugly as sin. And we went from jumpers to polo to blazers. So that's going to be more expensive. And from what I hear, they were doing well because those fuckers were cherry picking. So very much, if I was still going to school at that time, I would have probably had to go to a place a lot further away. And for understand, the academies are still around, but the foundation is no longer behind them.
Huh. Beam golems.
The big guys.
Ah.
How big is it?
Big enough to be annoying, especially when they've got the shield generators on their back.
Well,
That seems like cheating.
Yeah, especially it is on their fucking back.
won't that give them severe spinal injuries?
Not if they're not built to support it.
It prevents severe spinal injuries.
I could really have the advantage with being golems being, yeah, the big, the heavy, it can hit you hard. At the same time, it's their ranged weapons need to charge.
Okay. That is helpful.
They're basically mobile turrets.
Looks over at the Annihilator.
Right now, I'm looking at an urban mech.
Look, I can get a headshot. Give me the shot. Excuse me.
I'm here to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
You know, I actually got a letter in the mailbox about that.
So did I, and I don't even have a friggin' car.
It was just one of those funny things. It's like after years of getting phone calls about it, suddenly I get a letter in the mailbox, in that you're in trouble with if you don't read this letter pink.
Yeah.
I was quite confused.
Spam, 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 spam.
Don't like spam!
I have to find out where my spam cookbook is.
Are you planning to do something with spam?
I might.
Oh, okay.
Just for the glorious sake of science.
Spam science.
I think I might have a tin of spam in my closet, actually.
Pretty sure we have one in the pantry.
It's actually a big part of, or it has become a big part of Hawaiian cooking. Just because a lot of military bases in the Hawaii area, and so a lot of spam, because it keeps for friggin' ever.
Just to bring up a topic I brought about a future episode of Smalls. If we ever get down to doing the damned, it's come down to you have to go on a supply run. Why? Because you're sick of surviving on spam.
You assume Yuki gets tired of any type of food.
I am now tempted to look up spam tacos, and that's a frightening place for my mind to be.
Oh God, you're becoming Dylan Hollis.
Spam tacos. Spam taco recipe. There's an official one.
Of course there is.
Is it also from the Great Depression?
It is. I don't think so.
And spam from the Great Depression would be a very scary thing indeed.
Yeah, it's basically just cut up some spam, brown it, throw it in a tortilla with onion and cilantro. We can do better than that.
I was gonna say, you could jazz that up.
Spam street tacos, spam tacos. Recommends black beans and corn. Okay, these are pretty Hawaiian spam tacos. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're cooking.
Is there a large population of Mexican culture in Hawaii?
Not that I'm aware of. Okay, let's see here.
And many folks, to the audience who've watched these videos somewhat religiously, the reason you watch this is not for the gameplay, it's not anything related to the game, you're just here for the banter, aren't you? Says, well and truly knowing the type of audience hits I'm getting on these videos at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure people weren't tuning into any of the BattleTech Let's Play for the gameplay. They were just waiting to see how Lantern reacted to the newest discoveries.
Well, that was my primary reason for watching.
Yep.
Admittedly, I've fallen behind again after catching another man's trash.
The next really, really good one is what? Tournament of Champions or something?
Yeah. And that's not because Lantern has a reaction to it.
Oh, I have a reaction to it.
But that's not the good reaction in that video.
I absolutely have a reaction to that because I looked up what was coming for that one.
Is that the one you thought would make for a good Smalls session?
Actually, kind of.
We had to find a way to make that work, though.
Yeah, because it would be pure combat based, and the crux of the idea is you're stuck with really suboptimal battling conditions. And it's kind of hard to replicate that in D&D.
Oh,
What do you mean suboptimal?
You'll see in early December.
That is clearly the conditions of a true warrior.
Oh,
God
please.
damn it! You know you're lying, and you know it.
I am not lying. I am speaking the unvarnished truth.
So what we've already spoken about, this is easy to do. We just give everyone a survivor based on their original class to play. And basically at the same time...
but you kind of lose something when it's not your actual main character involved.
Oh yeah, it's come down to it. Not everyone's going to be up for that.